up, dude? So, we have it, Sebastian Rusk.
Those big words, though. Is that really all you guys got first thing in the morning? I know it's a holiday. Come on, baby. I don't know if people hire me to speak or they hire me for my energy. It might be a little bit of both, but I got plenty to give and I don't do cocaine. So people ask, they're like, do you do cocaine? I'm like, I know I live in Miami, but no, I don't do cocaine. So I told Jamie that one of the things I've been working on as a speaker is not having slides for my talk. I believe that if you are a true seasoned pro, you should have everything up here in an organized format, and that slides are a crutch. Sometimes you need to illustrate things, and I also zero planning, but that happens just because I feel that it's a natural talent of mine. So as I woke up this morning about 5, and I said, what am I going to talk to my BNI friends about today? And storytelling keeps showing up because the content that I share on a daily basis that gets the biggest engagement are the stories that I tell. It was April 28th of 1968, and Bobby Kennedy was on his campaign trail and stopped through our hometown of Peru, Indiana, and my dad was working for the local radio station at the time, WARU, and he had the unique opportunity of being lifted up onto a slightly slow-moving train as the campaign trail was continuing to go, and was able to hop on the train with Bobby Kennedy. And as the picture describes, and I'll send it to our WhatsApp group, he's holding a recorder of some sort right to Bobby's mouth and getting the story. And I thought to myself, I never heard this story before, Dad. I don't know what rock I've been living underneath. I found out about that story because my sister had told my daughter, because my daughter wanted to print the picture out and bring it in for extra credit. So I thought, wow, storytelling is in my blood. I was born to tell the story. But so are you. Why? Because we've all got a story. And we're all storytellers. Some of us are good, some of us not so good. Some of us tell a story that's the same story that everyone else is telling. That's called noise. So today I want to invite you to consider the idea that you have a unique story within yourself and your brand that can be played out to build value, to build a community, and to connect with people at a deeper level. You see, stories make this deep emotional connection with us as human beings. I like to say they tug on the heartstrings because people connect with your story at some point in time. It's like we're all a reflection of each other. Stories allow us to reflect on our past. I was mind blown that my dad had interviewed Bobby Kennedy and hung out and rode the train for about a half hour and met with him just 2 short months before he was gunned down and murdered in Los Angeles by Sirhan, who I believe got off. The second category of somebody said that last week, I know. We're not here to talk about him today. He did go to jail, but I heard he got out of jail. That's what I meant. Not he didn't get off with it. Anyway, we're not here to talk about him. The second category of content that gets the biggest engagement is stuff about my daughter. And for those of you that don't know me and that we just met, I have a beautiful 17-year-old daughter that I had when I was a ripe age of 21 years old. So the science experiment worked, and I've raised her. She's been all mine. I've been a full-time dad for 17 years now. That blows my mind. But she is the driving force behind what I do. The day she came out, I thought my life is no longer about me. This kid's got to eat, and those diapers are not cheap. So as I reflect back on 17 years of fatherhood and I share content, it's usually associated with a story. And I think people resonate with me. There's probably a 10 percentile, like 10% of men raise the actual child on their own. So I hang my hat on that because everyone told me that I was nuts. My mom told me I ruined my life. Everyone was like, you're nuts. What are you doing having a kid at 20 years old? And I knew that I had to get my ass in gear. And I don't recommend having a child to get your ass in gear. But I really went from like, what am I doing? Where am I going? To a steady job and then moving across the country and spending a significant amount of time in Southern California. So when I share 17 years of fatherhood, people engage with that content because, I don't know, maybe they like me, maybe they like my kid, maybe they like the story, but I really think the storyline is what makes them resonate. So people don't know how a window's put in, right? But now they do. With Window Buzz, you're starting to introduce, like, here's a shitty window. and here's a professional window, and here's what happened before, and here's what happens after. Most realtors don't have, the intel that they need to successfully work through a closing process. But Rich digs deep below the surface to extract everyday challenges and problems in a world that a realtor may see the video and go, I never even thought about that. I need to give this guy a call. I had no idea how you build an addition onto a house. Nor did I ever think that I was going to be climbing a ladder in the middle of the day until I started working with Lauren, and we created a campaign called GC Inspector Buzz, because he's a general contractor and an inspector. And we have documented over the past 7 or 8 months Reynoso's addition being added to the back of his house, from his house being turned in from a 2-1 to now a 3-3. Fascinating stuff. It really, really is, for a guy that's not in the construction world, to see how this all goes and be part of it. But he walks you through it. If you haven't seen Reynoso's house, you need to see GC Inspector Buzz. Go check out the series, because it walks you through. We go live. He did a full tour there. We're telling the story of what you do. Most people know that Rod generates leads for your business, makes the phone ring, but they don't know how. So we sat down and said, what does it look like to put together a campaign? I said, what's your primary focus right now? He said, Sebastian, explosive growth. And I said, okay, explosive growth buzz is a little bit of a mouthful of marbles. Let's flush that out a little bit more. How about inbound growth buzz? He goes, that's it. So what's that doing now? That's breaking down the 101 of what Risen Inbound does for your business to get the phone ringing and generate business online through digital marketing. You're gonna unpack and better understand what you do. Harry, with Immigration Buzz, already killing the game with Rod, phones ringing off the hook of people that are looking to just kick the door in and come into this country for new opportunities on here. And I thought, wow, Harry, if we stop and start breaking down the top 10 frequently asked questions about a H-1B visa and how you get into this country, either as an investor or an individual or getting wifed up, if we start documenting this whole thing through video, people start searching H-1 visa Brickle, immigration attorney, Brickle. People search, Facebook's a search engine too, a little search bar, 100 billion users. People start finding your videos and they go, hey, I saw your video on YouTube. I saw your video on Facebook. I got a situation that I need to get resolved pertaining to immigration. We are telling the story of what takes place inside an immigration firm if you want to acquire some sort of residence or visa, etc., to get into the country. I haven't left anybody else out. I guess everyone else is absent here. But Dr. Grossman, I'll circle back and wrap this up. As much as he likes to bust my chops, when I go in and I shoot a video of being adjusted, and one of the adjustments is, the requirement is to get on your knees and go like this, right? And then he stands behind you and it just gets fucking awkward. And then he just pulls you up and it's just cue the hallelujah chorus, and it's outstanding. And if you can do a video of that and showcase that to people, I don't know if people go, ooh, I want to do that, but they could say, ooh, my neck's a little crazy. Probably shouldn't have done that, hold my beer, watch this yesterday at the 4th of July. Maybe I need to go see Dr. Grossman. But that's only happening because we're telling a story. So if you're not telling a story, you're being grossly negligent to not only your community, but those individuals that want to connect with you, those people that want to hear your story. Your brand is not about you. Your brand is about how it makes other people feel. A good brand makes you feel good. A great brand makes people feel good about themselves. So today, I invite you to consider the idea of pulling that story out, because it's in there, and start telling it. Best way to do that is to have a one-to-one with me. We'll create a campaign for what you're doing, and it'll cost you $227 to get started. And you get 2 videos for $227. That's the offer. It stands for now, and it's long-standing. It was a week promo, and it worked really well because I bagged half the chapter as clients. So that is now readily available to new clients. So if we haven't set up a one-to-one, let's do that. The $227 offer is on the table. 2 videos for $227, and a great way to get your story told. I'm Sebastian Rusk, and it's been a pleasure. Is that it?